Hello and welcome back to Foundation Fabs of Flushes week 7. I can't believe we're almost over with Foundation Fabs of Flushes this year. But before we finish, today's foundation I'm really excited for because it's been out for ages and I wanted to try it for ages. If you are interested to see whether the Revolution Pro foundation drops looks nice and wears nice on an oily acne prone skin, then all you have to do is keep on watching. As always, I'm on the Revolution website and under the Revolution Pro. These drops are currently on offer for £3.50, so you can't go wrong if these are actually really good. They are £7 when they're not on offer, but I remember them to used to be £5, so I don't know whether they've, bumped up the price just for the sale, or they have genuinely put the price up. The inflation affected us in many ways. And this foundation is cruelty free, approved by Peter as animal tested free, which I love. Apparently it's long lasting, a makeup that stays on for a long time without creasing, running or melting. We shall see, because it's really hot today. Full coverage. Again, we shall see, because I like me some coverage. Makeup that completely covers the skin, concealing any imperfections. And it's matte finish. Makeup that makes your skin look velvety and airbrushed without reflecting light. I prefer sort of like a demi matte finish, but we'll see how much of a matte finish it has. Let's quickly read sort of the details. Create a silky, breathable base with Revolution Pro foundation drops in 18 skin true shades. This ultra lightweight, water-based formula creates an undetectable finish on all skin tones. Use a few drops for a sheer wash of colour or layer up to build natural looking medium coverage. Apply with Revolution Pro liquid drop foundation brush for an even finish. And then it has loads and loads of shades. Like they said, there's 18 shades in this foundation, which I think is actually okay. It gets me a little worried that they say a sheer wash of colour with a couple of drops and then you can build it to a medium coverage, but then just a couple of minutes before I read that it's meant to be full coverage, so we'll see about that. Let's just zoom it in and let's put this on. I have my palette ready. I'm going to give these a shake, as these tend to separate quite quickly. I bought these and then they were stood on the side and I was like, oh my gosh, did I put them like out in the sun because it separated so much? And then I give it a shake and then a couple of like even days later it separated again. So they just separate, but give it a little shake and it should be alright. It is very liquidy. I don't even know if it makes any sense to put it on my palette, but I kind of want to see how many drops I use. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 10 drops looks like a pump to me. And I'm going to start off with my favourite way, the sponge that picked it up like nothing else. It's in there. Let's just see. By the way, the shade that I got is F6.5, which I know is a little bit too light for me, so shh, don't comment on the shade. I also came back from my holiday now, meaning I've got a little bit of tan. I just realised I forgot to do a take without any foundation on, so I'm just going to compare it to this side. I know it's not the same, but I just have to do it sometimes. It's either that or I take all of this off. This is one side of my face with one layer of the foundation on, applied with a sponge, in comparison to the other side of my face because I forgot to take a shot without the foundation on. Apologies, the other one will be right. So far, it's not too matte, but it's also, the coverage is a very light medium. I'm going to let it set. I'm going to focus on my other side of my face, on the other side of my face, and we may, try and build. let's give this bottle a squeeze and pump out, or squeeze out, drop out 1, 2, 3, 10 drops again. I kind of want to see which medium uses more of the foundation. It makes sense that the sponge soaks it up since it's water-based, but let's try the brush on the other side, and it actually doesn't look that bad. Like, it just buffs in. If it seems streaky, just sort of keep buffing. Okay, this is the other side of my face with 1 layer of the foundation on, applied with a brush. I did use up about a half of what I used with the sponge. Again, understandable. The sponge usually does use up a lot of the product, but I must say, I often do like it better. Today, they both look okay. Is it my like favorite finish? Does it look just absolutely incredible? No, it just looks absolutely fine, like any old foundation. Again, I think the coverage is more of a light, and I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and this is not matte. This is not what I would consider a matte. I like the finish, I prefer this finish, but I hoped for a more matte finish so it like grabs the foundation. We shall see. Will I be able to build? I don't know if you would be able to get full coverage out of this. I don't really want to try because I like it, and I fear that if I apply too much, it's just gonna cake up or look wrong. Again, like a solid medium coverage for me. The longer I just sit here and it sits on my face, look how shiny my face is. This is not matte. Again, kind of fine with that, but if a foundation promises you to be matte, you expect to be matte. It is currently 10 past 10. I'm just going to start the wear test now. Let's try different products on top of it. I'm going to test out the cream bronzer. Yeah, my dry forehead, like post summer, post sunbathing forehead that's really dehydrated. It's not really liking it, but it's not liking the foundation. So if you have dry skin, I don't think it'll work. Why is this so pale? Gosh. Yeah, that blended in really nicely. I'm still waiting for it to set. But I don't think it is. Look at my cheeks. Dare I say, it's more of like a dewy finish. Look. It just looks wet, or like sweaty, which is wet, pretty much. Right, I need to powder this. That did not powder nicely on my forehead. Oh, this foundation. Okay. The skin has been powdered and it's been a journey. It has powdered nicely sort of in the center of my face. My forehead is really dehydrated, so I'm going to give it the benefit of a doubt that it's my fault, it's my skin. I have been on holiday, so it's dehydrated on there. It just looks patchy and like snake skin. It did not work well. The concoction of the foundation and powder on my forehead did not work nicely. I really like what this foundation looks like on my nose, but I do think it's because there's a very thin layer on there. Although I do have a reasonably thin layer on sort of my moustache area, my top lip, and it's sitting awkwardly. I have powdered it down lightly and it's still very shiny. Oh yeah, speaking of shine, why is this foundation meant to be matte, but it's definitely not? Like, you could just see on my face that it was not matte or whatsoever. This is matte. This is demi matte, which is what I personally like. This side is slightly more powdered, and you know, I expected this foundation to look like this after, you know, a minute or two when it sets. So definitely shady from Revolution Pro to advertise something as matte and definitely not delivering it. I don't know. I do not know. I applied this foundation at 10 o'clock. I'm going to start the wear test and I'm going to see and let you know what I think of it in a couple of hours. So far, it's not bad, but I'm not blown away by it. So just get the 17 Cosmetics Second Skin foundation instead if you are on a budget. That's kind of already what I'm thinking. Okay, 3 hours in and I'm starting to feel it. The foundation has got a little bit of dewiness from my face, which does worry me because I have oily skin, so it might break down pretty easily, but it actually looks pretty nice. I am going to blot before I sort of zoom in and show you what it looks like close up, because that way we can see every detail. This is the blotting sheet, the piece of paper that I used, and I can see that the foundation is starting to get into my fine lines, but it's actually not like super bad. It's okay. It's not bad. I'm so used to like smoothing full coverage foundations that this is just like your average foundation, but there's not much you can expect from that sort of price range, that price. But overall, it looks fine. Let's keep going. 6 hours in. Apologies for the neighbors outside, but everyone's super hot. I am sweating big time and I need to blot the sweat and blot my face because eye is greasy. Mostly sweaty, to be honest. Let's just dab, dab, dab. Oh, I'm so sweaty, you guys. Oh, I love it. I love the weather, but not when I'm testing out a foundation, you know? Considering I wore glasses, I don't think that rub off is as bad as it could have been. So it's not bad. Overall, I just feel like my face looks a little dry, if I'm being it's strange, I know. It's holding up quite well, to be fair, considering it's 6 hours in, it's super hot outside. It's actually holding up okay, and I'm obviously gonna keep going. I just feel like it's not as good, it's not like mind-blowing, but I don't think it can be for £7. Hour number 10, and this is what my face looks like. It doesn't look great. It's starting to separate, but I'm going to have to blot to show you that because the reflection makes it nice and sort of smooth. As you can see by the redness right here on my cheeks and sort of my nose, the foundation's pretty much gone. My forehead looks very crusty, and just my skin in general looks very crusty as well. But overall, the foundation has held up reasonably well considering it's 10 hours in. It's been really hot today. I've been sweating. I have oily skin. It's not bad. I just cannot see it for people with like dry, flaky skin. And it looked way too dewy. It was not matte. So that's kind of throwing me off. So overall, even though it's pretty budget friendly, I just don't think I like it enough to be able to recommend it. There's just not enough things that I like about it, and overall I would definitely go for the 17 Cosmetics Second Skin if you're on a budget, because that one was just so much better than this. I had less issues with it. Yeah, it's okay, but it's just not worth your money, I think. So that's that on that. As always, I hope you find this video useful. If you do, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Yet another week of foundation Fabs or Flushes. We have one more. I can't believe we only have one more. And then it's the final. I'll do a summary, as I always do, by ranking the 8 foundations that I have tested out throughout the summer. And yeah, I hope you have enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best, and I hope to see you next time.